What's up, y'all? It's Mario with Bulldog Attitude. Wanted to talk to you guys today about raising good kids is not an accident. If you're watching this video, please take the time to subscribe. Really trying to get some more subscribers on this channel, so take a pause real quick and hit that subscribe button if you like the title and the content of this video. On this channel, you see me speaking a lot about action over excuses, determination or discipline over motivation, and a lot of exercise and diet stuff. But really, we've got some really cool, me and my wife got some really cool stuff going on in our life right now. So I really want to highlight kids and family this week. It takes just as much determination, grit, focus, support, love, and all the discipline in the world to stay focused on raising good kids. So I want to really focus this week on what it takes to really raise good kids. It is truly a blessing to have raised 3 good kids. They're all married with great jobs. Me and my wife are super proud of them. They're out of the house, meaningful contributors to society, off of our payroll. So it is truly a blessing to have raised 3 really good kids. I mean, oddly enough, me and my wife get asked a lot, why do our kids, even into adulthood, still want to hang out with us, be a part of our lives? And what does it take to do that? So this week, again, like I said, if you're part of this channel, you usually see me focused a lot on fitness, diet, all the things that it really takes to, from a bulldog attitude to be fit, driven, all of those different things. But I want to give you guys a glimpse behind the scenes of family and what it really takes, and the grit, determination, and focus that it really takes to build good kids, and kind of talk about that today. And later on this week, we really got some cool things going on. So I want to give you guys a look behind the curtain on some of those things, how the kids turned out. So stay tuned for that. But let's talk about what it takes to raise really good kids. Me and my wife raised our kids, through most of their childhood life in Kansas City, Kansas. So we lived in Kansas City most of their years. We stayed involved in their lives, a lot, right? So not necessarily poking into their business, but we've stayed into their business, really understood who their friends were, who they were hanging around with. Big proponent of you are who you hang around with. You see some of my videos, show me your friends, show me your future. So we were really involved into their who they were hanging around with, what they were involved with, and things like that. We had dinner around the table every single night. So my wife cooked dinner every single night, and we had dinner every night around the family, and we talked what was going on in their life, how was their day. So all of those different things were really important. And whatever they had going on in their life, whether it be sports, academics, or whatever was going on in their life, we were there and we showed up and we supported them in whatever they were doing. So we found that very important as they started to grow up. We had their friends over the house. At the time we had a swimming pool in the backyard, and a lot of their kids or friends spent time over at the house. So we could see, the things that their friends were doing and how their friends were raised, and, was it appropriate for them to be hanging around with. Again, show me your friends, show me your future, and who you hang around is, 90% of who you become. I'd be remiss to say I believe I did not cover it. We do have 2 girls and 1 boy. As they grew up and got into high school and college, my job moved me to Raleigh, North Carolina for a promotion on the job. So the transition was difficult on them, difficult times in our lives. So I'm not gonna lie, it was a difficult transition to move here, but we stayed in touch, stayed in tune to what they were doing. My oldest daughter was moving into college. She was a cheerleader for a local community college, and we stayed involved and supported that, right? So every game she cheered at, we wanted to make it a point to be there to support her going through that. My youngest daughter was a freshman in high school when we moved to North Carolina. Really broadened her horizons. Difficult for her, the transition, but we stayed in tune. lots of different things and lots of big differences from Kansas City to moving to a larger school here in North Carolina. So we really had to stay in touch with her to make sure, she was doing okay. Difficult transition. She's pretty much like my wife, does not like change, but the transition, I believe, was a good thing for her. Really opened her eyes, and through that, she went away from high school. She transitioned into dental school, and now she's a dental hygienist and doing very successful. But I think that transition in the very beginning was a difficult move for her, but she's now married and dental hygienist and doing very, very well. My son, even in Kansas City, played a lot of sports. I think that helped him from a transitional standpoint to move here to North Carolina to get involved in some sports. So he was a junior in high school when we moved from Kansas City. We supported him as well. Lots of sports, lots of baseball, and lots of basketball. So we stayed in tune, went to all his basketball games in high school, AAU, and went to a lot of his baseball games. He ended up transitioning from high school to play junior college baseball. Good successful career in baseball, to be able to transition from high school to college ball, but we made time to make sure every weekend that we were going to some of his baseball games to support him through that. So one of the big things I'll just say, raising good kids is really all about showing up and being supportive. Support is very important, and I talk about a lot of times, don't quit. Moving to North Carolina was very difficult transition for the family. It'd been easy just to throw in the towel and give up and let society raise your kids. You can't quit. You've got to stay involved in their lives and what's going on. Listen to the things that they've got going on in their lives and support them. As they started to transition into adulthood out of college, each one of them started to spend time with different individuals and started to settle down in their relationships. Relationships and understanding who they're about to hitch their wagon to, whether it be a male or a female. Both of my daughters, like I said, are now married. The husbands in their lives. As a father, I sat down with each one of them to kind of understand their background, what their plans were for themselves and our daughters, right? So really trying to understand the focus and what their plans were for the future and what they thought about marriage. Spirituality is very important to us. Their relationship with God is very important to us. So all those questions as a father, to make sure that as a husband, our daughters were hitching their wagon to someone that we could support and love. Again, it's not always perfect. And we still stay involved in their lives, and we ask questions about what's going on in their lives. My son, right out of college, he got married. Blessed enough to have a new grandson with our daughter-in-law and their family. But he moved right out of college with a job, transferred to West Virginia. Again, staying in tune. We're in Raleigh, North Carolina. They were in West Virginia, and once a month we went up there and spent time with them, had dinner with them, and stayed in touch. So again, being able to support them through the move, even though they were 2 to 3 hours away, we spent time with them and make sure that they were staying close and listen to them. So both our daughters are here locally. Again, both of them are married and doing well. My oldest daughter works for a pharmaceutical company and doing very well in her career. She's very driven to do the things that she wants to do within her career. She takes on some of the bulldog attitude, lifestyle, and very aggressive about what she's doing with her career. So super proud of her. Like I said, my youngest daughter's in the dental industry, married and doing very well. My son, like I said, transitioned right out of college. He got a construction management degree. He's doing very well with his career. Very driven, focused on the things that he needs to do to be successful there, and being a great employee. But all of that stuff is the things that they see in the household and how they're raised and what their parents are doing. So we raise them with a great work ethic. We listen to them. Again, a lot of times that wasn't easy, right? So really talking about what things they want to do, what things they are viewing important as they started to transition into an adulthood and being meaningful contributors to society, and working to provide a life for their family. So now all three of them, like I said, are adults. My son has a grandson that we're blessed enough to have a grandson. Soon to be having a granddaughter that's due in February. So truly blessed in that aspect. But also we stay close. Every Sunday, my wife cooks dinner. All of the kids show up when they can. Sometimes it's all three with their spouse. Sometimes it's one or two, but dinner's always on the table, and that's the time where our family still connects every week. So family dinners are super, super important to us, my wife. Even though it's a lot of work, we stay in touch with them to listen and talk around the table, even though they live locally. My son has transitioned back from West Virginia and now 10 to 15 minutes away, raising his family, but they all come over for Sunday dinners, and we feel that the Sunday dinners are very important, and our time to stay connected as a family. So those are some of the things that I would say that are critical as you start to raise your kids, and the determination. And it's not always easy to cook, always not easy to clean up after they leave, all of those different things, but it's important to stay in touch. We even invite their friends over. So as they went in transition into adulthood, they have friends that are college friends that they had, co-workers, or whatever it may be. We open up our table to have them over, of course, their spouses, and at times some of their friends. So some of the friends view us as very close, even parent style at times, because we give them parent advice and things like that. So as we sit around the table, it's very truly a blessing to be viewed and still cool with your kids, where they still want to hang out with you on the weekends and come over and have dinner. And invite their friends to show up as well. So that's a true testament to, just the parenting and the support and the things that we've done, for most of their lives, where they still show up for us. They invite their friends over and things like that. So it does take a bulldog attitude to raise children. It does take a village to do that. So it's very, very, very important to show that. So all through life, we showed up for our kids. We supported them, whatever they were doing. Ultimately, we love them, and they know it. And I believe even today, they tell us and show us and report back that, we talk about a lot of times in Kansas City, all the things that we did and the memories that we built. And it is truly a blessing to have three great kids, even into adulthood, that still want to hang out with you, even on the weekends when they've got their own things to actually go do, but they still show up for their parents. So it's a blessing to have that in our lives. And I just wanted to share that with you guys to give you guys a testament of, hopefully you got some nuggets out of this conversation about how important family really is. It is, a lot of discipline that it takes to don't quit, no matter how hard it gets, in your child's life. Stay in tune. It's very easy to have your friends, the television, others raise your kids, but if you want them to turn out truly with the values that you really believe in, hard work, determination, no quit, the bulldog attitude, and being meaningful contributors to society. and all of those different things, and those values, and the spirituality, all those things that you raise them with. It's important to pour those things in your kids and being a part of their lives. So hopefully you guys got some nuggets out of this, and how important it is to raise good kids, to be meaningful contributors to society, and stay close. So with that, I'm out. Again, later this week, I'll give you guys some a glimpse behind the curtain about some cool things that we've got going on with our family, and I'll share that and record some of those things so you can kind of see behind the curtains of some of the things that I talk about, how we show up, and how our kids still continue to show up for us. So please, like I said in the beginning, take the time to subscribe. Hope you guys watch this video to the end. Looking for more subscribers on the channel. I'll continue to produce good content. So with that, I'm out.